Good evening, everyone. Lovely to see you people over here. Suparna, many happy returns of the day.
Thank you, ma'am.
For us are late, but blessings are there.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, good evening, everyone. Once again, another season, another
Good
episode of
evening.
Wow. As you people all know, what we do in Wow is we meet you people. I'm at the firing end, and whatever your questions are, whatever your issues are, you can definitely discuss it. But before we start, every single time, there is one or two topics that I prefer to take on my own. And today I was sitting and I was just working on my very, very old one of the hard drives. And while I was working on it, realized that there were few very interesting things which I must have written sometime. I don't know when. I don't remember. I do not know क्या वो इवेंट था that made me write, क्या वो awareness कब आई, कहाँ से आई, क्या हुआ. So I have no idea, but they were, it just looked as if this is something I need to share today. I don't know why, I don't know for whom. I'm sure आप लोग में से किसी एक के लिए ही होगा और शायद एक से ज्यादा लोगों के लिए होगा. But ये awareness मुझे बहुत पता नहीं पहले कब क्यों और कैसे आई, but I want to share it with you people today before I lose it again in my hard disk somewhere. And there were few things which I was writing about, and interesting part was just a second. I did write it somewhere here. This is something about patience. We hear a lot of things about the word patience, how we have to have patience, and for how many things we have to have patience. For every single thing, wherever we are unable to achieve the desired results at the time when we want it to happen, we say, have patience. So, exactly, अगर हम patience को और expand करें, supposing we expand it more and we go more deeper into the word patience, what exactly patience means? When you have patience with God, it is called faith. When the patience are with your own self, we call it self confidence. I know I'm making an effort, and I know I get the result, and I know I get the desired result, but not at the desired moment, maybe. Then I have patience enough to wait for that desired result to happen, and we call it self confidence.
So it was
The
I
other
didn't get it. Self what? Word.
patience with yourself is called self confidence.
Oh,
Okay. When you have patience for other people, maybe you have asked them for some work and you have patience to wait for them to achieve it. When you have patience for other people to for themselves to have uh, to for themselves to get their desired results, and you patiently wait and watch with them, for them, we call it respect. So, patience for others is definitely respect for them. When we have patience with our family, which means, you see, our family is constantly changing along with us. When I'm working on myself, my environment is also healing. I'm not the only one who's healing. I'm not the only one whose perceptions are changing. I'm not the only one who's experiencing something. Everyone in my family is doing it. And if I have patience to sit, wait for that shift to come, sit, wait for that change, their perceptions to change. When I tell them my perceptions, and then do not force it on them that this is what you have to believe in. And we have the patience enough to wait when their perception also slowly, with their experience, will change. That patience is known as love for the family. So patience have many names. Patience is not only patience. This we have to understand in a wider aspect of the word patience. And another thing that I was going through and I saw was that, you know, what a beautiful word is acceptance. Have we ever thought about it? कितना हम बोलते हैं ना दिन रात acceptance में हो, accept yourself, accept others the way they are, accept this, accept that. We talk about acceptance. Have we ever spoken about the word non-acceptance? How our life becomes poisonous, toxic, just by not accepting few things in our lives. And I'm not going to give you any gyan on the word acceptance. You have to accept this, that. No, no, Insta is full of it. I don't need to do that. But when you do not accept anything in your life, that becomes excess of it. And then it becomes poisonous. So, what is poison? Let's understand that first. Poison is anything that you have beyond your need, it will become poisonous. What you need is what you need. Like last time, also, I was saying, why do we have to label all our emotions as bad? Whether it is fear, whether it is anger, whether it is helplessness, yeah, every emotion we just say, oh, you have a fear, this is very bad, toxic. You have anger, it's very bad, it's toxic. No, we need every single emotion in our life, but in a limited way, because then it is a need. But if it is anything more than we need, then it becomes poisonous. I'll give you an example of the anger. If I'm going on the street and I see a man misbehaving with another man or a woman, and if I don't have the anger, I will never ever be able to protect that woman or that man. If I have to protect them, if I feel what is happening to them is wrong, and it's my job, my dharma to protect that person, because maybe at that particular moment I'm stronger. Maybe somebody somewhere else I'm not that strong. But at that moment, the person who is being bullied is weaker and I'm stronger. So maybe that is the time I need to have some anger. I use it. I use that as my aggression and then go and protect the girl. So anger is good. Anger is needed, right? As I said, anything which is beyond your need, that becomes poisonous. It can be your laziness. Beyond what you need, poisonous. It can be your relaxing. Like we said, oh, worked enough, now I want to relax. Yeah, of course, when you worked enough, you definitely need relaxation. But when this relaxation goes beyond what you need, then it is poisonous. Then it will hinder your growth. If we have excess of power, excess of food, excess of ego, excess of fear, excess of anger. Every single thing is toxic or poisonous. And how we can use acceptance to change this poison into amrit. विष को अमृत कैसे बनाना है केवल एक्सेप्टेंस से हो जाता है और इसको अगर हम अंडरस्टैंड कर लेते हैं तो इट कैन बी अ वेरी बिग टाइम हेल्प टू अस व्हाट इज फियर fear is very toxic, right? So what is fear? When fear is nothing, fear is the non acceptance of uncertainty. लाइफ में अनसर्टेनिटी है ब्लूप्रिंट लेके नहीं आए हैं हम क्योंकि जब हम ऊपर से नीचे एज अ सोल आए तो नहीं था वहां पे कोई एक्सेल शीट वहां नहीं थी कोई पावर पॉइंट पास्ट में हमने देखे अपनी फाइल खोली आई क्लाउड खोलो उसके अंदर देखो तुमने क्या किया है एंड देन डिसाइड व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू इन नेक्स्ट लाइफ राइट दैट्स व्हाट द ब्लूप्रिंट इज but when you come on earth we miss it and when you miss it then everything that happens in my life is uncertain to me. It is uncertainty. And it is always when you don't accept the uncertainty, it becomes fear. Accept that uncertainty, it will become adventure. You would love it. What is adventure? I know something is going to happen which I'm not expecting, I'm not certain of. That becomes your um, adventure. A word we use a lot about toxic is envy. I envy you. What is envy? Envy is non-acceptance of the good in the other person, right? The moment you will accept it will become an inspiration. If I see something good in you and I enjoy it, I appreciate it, and I'm ready to copy it, becomes inspiration. What is anger? Anger is non acceptance of what is beyond my control. Look, anything that you can control will never ever give you anger. Try, think about all those events where you get angry, whether you get angry for others or whether you get angry with your own self. If you are not able to control that situation, then you feel angry or helpless. So, what do we need to do? We just need to accept this fact. This has happened. It is beyond my control, and it is okay to live with things in my life which are beyond my control. And acceptance of this fact is called tolerance. Tolerance is nothing else. Just by acceptance, see how we are flipping the fear to adventure, the anger to tolerance, and hatred. What is hatred? Hatred is not accepting people as they are. The moment you learn to accept people the way they are, it converts into unconditional love. So we keep hearing people talking about these days unconditional love, unconditional love, unconditional. So what is unconditional love? Unconditional love is absolutely nothing. It's an acceptance of people the way they are. And I'm not saying if you see somebody say he's a murderer and you accept him murdering, I'm not talking about those things. But if you see somebody fat, obese, and you accept them the way they are, you make friends for the way they are. You see somebody who is very short tempered and you accept them the way they are without judging them. It will naturally convert into unconditional love. So these are very few important points which I wanted to discuss with you people today. And I wanted to start the evening, this session today with these things, which will give you opening to many questions that you want to ask. So please go ahead, ask as many questions as you think we can accommodate in 1 hour. So anybody has any question? And then
Can you give a little more light on fear? Because fears are always there. Something or other we fear about.
yeah. So fear basically, as I said, what is fear? Fear is just that I'm not accepting the uncertainty. Something may happen which I am not ready for, or I do not know, or I am not accepting. Fear is that. The, Mohini, there was a lot, I always had been cribbing about this fact that there is so much of fear in me, there is so much of uncertainty in my life, if you remember. I always used to say that. And then one day, I said, I also should try some astrologically. Kya hai? What the hell is this uncertainty in my life? So when I went to there and I went to my astrologer and I asked him, I said, there is nothing certain is not happening. Matlab, I know what I'm doing is right. It may happen. My decisions are right, but I am not very sure how and when it will happen. So there's so uncertainty. किसी दिन होगा ये पता है, but lack of self confidence होता है तो I was missing it. And then he was, going through all those my kundali, and he saw it, and he says, "Ma'am, who says there is uncertainty in your life?" And I said, "Okay, so is there some certainty in my life?" And he said, "Yeah, one thing is very certain, there will always be uncertainty in your life." So depends how you want to take it. That is the day I said, okay, I flipped. One thing is certain, there will be uncertainty, so why have fear? Jo hoga, we will do. Fear generally goes away, Mohini, when we are in a situation, position to surrender. But before I go ahead, can we ask you, Kavita, do you think you can see me full? Because I can't see myself full.
फुल इन द सेंस आपका वो कट रहा होगा उसमें आईपैड में ना.
हाँ,
हाँ, मैं मेरे
but
को नहीं दिख रही हूँ, पर अगर ज्यादा नंबर ऑफ पार्टिसिपेंट्स या कम विल जॉइन देन वी विल सी द कंप्लीट पिक्चर.
okay, so you can see me pura, na? My point is that I don't need to see
Others
myself full.
others can see you पूरा.
That's what's
Yeah.
important. Okay, so what is the Moini? You have to understand fear only comes when you are not sure of the results. That's what fear is. When you're not sure of the results, that's the time you have to remember whatever is the result, it will be for my benefit and beneficial to me. Something wrong happens in our life, we remember for rest of our life, and because of that experience which went bad, we all our life we keep on having fear that it may happen to me again. So all my life whatever has happened in the past is what is giving me an emotion in the present. But at that moment, if we just think, okay, last time when this thing happened, I was so scared what will happen. I had so much of fear, but thank God that happened. Because of that, today I got benefited like this. We do not remember that experience of ours. And if you remember that experience and let go of the fear, that is called surrender. That is called faith in God. That is that is called self-confidence. कुछ भी हो जाए, under any circumstances, I am going to thrive. That confidence, that surrender, because my God will never do anything to me which can give me permanent harm. Maybe for some time, yes. Temporary, yes. But the moment you will learn your lesson from that, that temporary harm will also go away. And that faith is called surrender. The faith in God. And the moment you will be able to surrender yourself, your fear will naturally go away. So, what is fear? Actually, if you break it, is something that has not happened yet. You're anticipating it will happen this way, and then it will be problem or painful to you, but it has not happened yet. So that's fear. So जो चीज हुई ही नहीं है, thing which has not happened yet, let's not have fear. Our consciousness is when your consciousness is in the future, you have fear. When your consciousness is in the present, you have faith, right? So whenever it happens, bring your focus, bring your consciousness back in here and now, in the present. Hanji. Yes, next question. Anybody? Is your question answered, Mohini?
I see Anita
Yes
hand
and
up.
no.
Hmm?
Yes and no.
So let's talk about the no first.
No is something like anything happens in the body, the first fear is कहीं hidden disease तो नहीं है, कोई cancer तो नहीं है.
So something is which has not happened yet.
It has not happened. Yes,
Your
for sure.
consciousness is in something which has not happened to you, but it is in your environment.
Put
Right?
that. That is even more fearful if it's in the
Yes,
environment.
correct. So basically, Mohini, whenever this thing happens, just all you need to tell your mind is one thing: this is not my story. More you think about it, you will make it your story,
Okay, done.
right? This is the interesting part of for us is that we keep making other people's story our own story.
Correct.
We believe that this, for example, these type of diseases, we know they are very, we have been told from the childhood they are inherited, right? Which means if my mother has diabetes, I can get diabetes. If my father has some problem, I can get that problem. That is how we think and we believe. My question to you is very simple logic. Your father has diabetes. Your mother maybe had cancer. Your grandmother had, say, high blood pressure. Your grandfather from your mother's side had some other issue. Your grandfather from your father's side had some different issue. So, which means from your ancestors that you're taking DNA, according to that, each and every DNA of yours should be corrupted. And you have the potential to inherit any of the disease on this earth or every disease that your family have had. But do we do that?
No.
फिर तो हम जी नहीं सकते थे ना.
Yeah.
But we don't do that. Why? Because wherever is your consciousness, that is what will emphasize and become bigger thing in your life.
Yeah.
Is that right or wrong?
Yes, absolutely.
Right? So consciousness is like the air we have inside us. Whichever balloon you will pick up and put your consciousness in that, you will blow it. That balloon only will expand and become bigger and you can see it. But any balloon which is lying there close to you and you do not blow it, you don't put your consciousness to it, believe me, that is the one which will not be seen. It will stay small, insignificant. So don't put your consciousness in any of that DNA of yours where there was a disease, there was an issue. And as you all know, all your diseases come from your mind and your thought. So
Yeah.
make sure your consciousness is not in any thought that can give you that disease.
I another extension of this.
Absolutely. If your consciousness is in resentment towards someone, then whether in your family somebody has cancer or not, you will get it. Because that's where your consciousness is. So be sure which balloon to pick up. Pick up the balloons that you desire. So put your consciousness in those thoughts, what you desire, and not which just comes in your environment. Your thoughts become your reality. Don't make it your reality. So fear, if I have a fear of something, it definitely means that that's where my consciousness is. Pull it out. Don't make it a big balloon.
Yeah, super touching.
Divya, can you explain it little more?
Little more about the diseases or about the consciousness?
About the consciousness.
About the consciousness. Consciousness has the potential to expand whatever you want. That potential is in your consciousness. Now, if you will put your consciousness in a disease, you will expand that. Consciousness will expand it, and that disease will become a part of your life. Right? So, if you want something good to happen in your life, put your consciousness there. See, Sudhir, I'll explain you this way. You know, there is something in India we do a lot, which is called Mannat Manna, which is where we go and wishful thinking, or we say, ki, okay, my this wish comes true. So in many countries, the way of doing is that you go put a coin in the particular well or in some fountain, and whatever wish you ask, you will get it. In some countries, it is like this, that you go tie up a thread in some place and put the thread over there, and you ask for a wish, and that wish will be fulfilled. Isn't it? We all do it. What exactly is the science behind it? Let's understand that. Because when you go and say, God, I will give 11 rupees to you, but you please make me a good, make me successful businessman. Do you really think this God from whom you are asking to give you success in your business and crores of rupees, millions of rupees, he needs your 11 rupees? No. But when we do all these things, what we do is we leave our part of our consciousness at that place. So when I go to God and say, I want to stand first in my class, and I will, when I'll come first, I will come and give 11 rupees here for the donation. When you talk about that 11 rupees, you don't pay it then. You pay it when I will get it, I will come and pay it there. Which means I leave my consciousness to God or to any of these things that we do. Now, a part of your consciousness is there. So you have lack, void of that much of consciousness that you have left with God. So every time you want to complete yourself, your thought will directly go to where your consciousness you have left. And that is left with God. And with that, you have put an intention of coming first in the class. So every single time you think of your consciousness, which is lost, which is less in you, you will think of coming first in class. And naturally, your mind will now help you to prepare to go and study or make efforts so that you can come first. Now, the moment you come first in your class, then you go and keep 11 rupees over there. What are you doing there? You're not making God happy because I said I promised I came here. What you're doing is you're saying, okay, I today take my consciousness back from here and I leave this money here because this is what I have promised. Promise itself is an energy. So you pick up your consciousness and you leave the energy in bargain of the money and you come back home and you feel complete. That's what we do. So wherever is your consciousness, you will emphasize and make it bigger. If your consciousness is in coming first in the class, every time your attention will go to that part of your consciousness, and that uh, part of coming first in the class will become bigger and bigger, and slowly it becomes your reality. So that's what I say. Put your consciousness what you want to achieve. Don't put it in places where you do not want to achieve. If you don't want to achieve anything and your consciousness goes there again and again, we call it fear.
Neha, is it same as manifestation? There also you sort of put your consciousness for
Absolutely.
to a certain.
Manifestation is absolutely nothing. When you make a manifestation, what do you call it? They make that board, vision board. Whatever you do, you make it. That is also a part of your consciousness is on that board. Only thing is when you put pictures, so it gives you a image to your brain that this is what I want in life. But your consciousness is there. Whenever you will look at it, you will look at your part of that consciousness that you have left there, and in that you give it a figure or a picture. The
No,
way we do. When we
like
pray to God, we pray to pictures. We
yeah.
pray to the statues.
No, when you say that okay, this sentence you do 21 times or whatever times every night or day.
Yeah.
So there also we are sort of trying to put our consciousness in that thing
Uh,
that
no, Sudhir.
no.
When we talk about affirmations and suggestions, what we are doing is we are changing the neuro pathway of ours. So any information which comes to us as a thought, when we give it to our brain, it goes there in the form of image. Image create करने के लिए there are neurons which are triggered so that with the same word same image is created every time. We call it neuro pathway. So supposing my habit is to call this a pen, now this image of this pen will be there in my brain. Every time I will think of pen, this image, the neurons for this will create. Now after some time I don't need this pen. Maybe I don't have any other pen here, for example, but I need a red color pen. I've suddenly become a teacher. Now I have to give marks to everyone and I need a red pen. So my every time when I think of a pen, I'll think of a red pen, and the image of a red pen will be created in my brain now, and not of this black pen. So two times, 21 times when I'm thinking about red pen, every time I think about pen, because now I'm a teacher, I'm thinking of a red pen. After 21 times, when the same neurons are triggered, these become the new image, the new neural pathway. And then every time I think of pen, only the image of a red pen will come. My brain will make sure that it will give sensations to that part of my hand, which will go only in that direction or angle where the red pen is kept and not where the black pen is kept. So, neuro pathways are when we do affirmations 21 times, we do 108 times, we change the neuro pathway so that the image in my brain is changed. And when the image in the brain is changed, action will be changed. The job of brain is only to look at the image and convert it into action through our body. So supposing I am having cigarettes, so my image, that is the relaxation, and the image will come of a cigarette. And when I change, I am, say for example, I am free of having cigarettes or other type of any information. I am free of smoke or whatever it is. I live a smokeless life. Whatever affirmations you will need, you will make. Now, the moment you think of relaxation, the image of something different, hobby or a smoke-free life, that image will come. Your neural pathway has changed, and then you will not relax, you will not use the cigarette. That's how you change the neural pathway. That's a little different.
Uh, Ma'am, can I ask something?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, as when you first started your lecture, this talk, you spoke about uncertainty. So, yeah. So I wanted to tell you that I understood it, but I want to understand it from my perspective. Like in my life, whenever I have done a number of things in my life. Okay, I have been a teacher. I am a yoga instructor, globally certified yoga instructor. Then at a time, I was a professional baker in my life, and I excelled at calligraphy. But during the course, what has happened is, whenever I reached the peak of the thing that I so worked and worked, and when I get into a thing, I go very deep. It's in me that I start a thing, and unless and until I'm down and deep, I don't leave it. So there comes a time when I'm totally immersed into it and I'm indulged and I'm in it and I'm excelling in it. Suddenly a new thing comes and that thing gets stopped, and I don't stop it, but some forces, external forces, I'm forced to stop it and discontinue it. Then I headlong plunge into myself because I can't sit static. It's in me. I just can't. I have to do something. And what I do is I do with all my passion and my love for it, and I go into it. So even baking, I did it for 5 years, excelled it, enjoyed it, did it professionally. But
And then
it came to
something happens and you lose it.
I lose it.
Wow.
So
You know why I'm laughing while you are talking? Did you see my
why?
broad smile?
Yes, yes, yeah.
There is another person sitting in the room, Kavita. She's also smiling and laughing. Why are
Okay.
because just last week I was talking to Kavita. I am tired of starting new things. I start something, I go deep
Yeah.
into it, and then when I reach to the peak, just
Yes.
at the peak, I leave it and I move ahead. And I was talking about it
Yes.
to my directors also. And then we realized that some people have the theme of the
Yeah.
builder. What does the builder do? They make houses, right?
Okay.
Do they live in all the houses that they make?
No.
They move on. They give it to somebody else and they will
Yeah.
move on.
Okay.
So there are people who are born with different themes. One of the theme is builder theme. One of the theme
Okay.
is like a teacher's theme. One of the theme is like follow up, only following. What is your date of birth? What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Neeta.
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 Yeah,
Yeah,
Neeta.
yeah.
What is your
Yeah.
date of birth?
4th February, 1973.
Okay, 4th February. All right. So there are people who have come on this earth as trendsetters.
Yeah.
They don't follow the trend. They will
No, I
only
don't.
start something new, go
Yes.
deep into it, bring it
Yes.
to the peak because this is how they will leave it on earth and move
Yeah.
on to the next one. तो
Next.
तुम फॉलो करने नहीं आई हो, वो तुम्हारा,
नहीं.
that is not your theme. You are a trendsetter, and
Yeah.
trendsetter cannot get stuck with one thing. That
No.
is one thing you remember. Second, those people have these type of uh, theme who have come to understand their spiritual self. And the
Yes.
only one way to connect to yourself is by disconnecting with other things. Buddha called it detachment.
Yeah. Detachment.
So when you do something, you start something, you create something, you put so much of your consciousness, your compassion, your love to it, you fall in love with it. It becomes like your baby.
Yeah.
And babies,
Yes.
your children are the ones that create attachment. But if you have come to experience your spiritual self, you have to learn detachment. If you will not learn it yourself, universe will teach you. If not like this, then that way. तो सीखो,
Yeah.
डिटैच हो जाओ, स्टार्ट करो, अटैच हो
Yeah.
जाओ, डू द बेस्ट व्हाट यू कैन, मूव ऑन, detachment. अगर अपने आप हो जाओगे वेरी गुड, नहीं होगे तो ये सब होगा. You are talking about your career or things, new things to start, including everything. You like a house, somehow or the other, you get attached to the house, you will lose the house. You get
It's
attached to your
strange that
jewelry, you will lose your jewelry.
yes, exactly,
Some people say,
Yes.
I don't know why I lose. Some people, they have jewelry, they
Yeah.
have kept it for 50 years and it will not go. And some people, whether you like it or not, something will happen, you will lose it. So anywhere where your consciousness is so much that it is now beyond the need and it will become poisonous. The universe will walk in and take it away from you because you have that theme in your life. So
Yeah,
feel
but
good.
it has helped me. I have learned many things, and there
Yeah.
are many facets to my personality, so I take it now in
You
my
only
stride.
have to do one thing, so don't worry. When you do and when you are about to reach to the peak, say, okay, I pull my consciousness from here, I detach. If it is there, very good. If it is not there, I'm still very good.
Yeah.
That is it. And then you will.
Yeah, I got my answer today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Do we have any other question?
Suparna ji has been waiting for long.
Super nice to ask a question.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Suparna. Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, my heartbeat has raised since 2 weeks, and I'm experiencing a limp in my right leg.
Right leg.
Yes, ma'am.
Which
Since
part?
the right knee, the inner side.
Inner side of the right knee.
Yes, ma'am. So there is a pain.
धड़कन बढ़ गई तो अच्छी बात है. कौन आया है जिंदगी में, हमें भी बता दो. हाँ? कोई तो आया होगा. Okay. Jokes apart. Right knee, you said inner side of the right knee. See, the inner side of the right knee, 100% has something to do with the intimacy. You also know, and I also know. Right? But the limp has come means something is happening in your life that is stopping your movement.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it anything new that you had been wanting to do for the last 1 year or something? कुछ नया करना है?
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to open a clinic at my home, and like my husband is not allowing.
Correct. So right foot forward, initial. You have to start something new, but you are not getting the support from the person who, according to you, is very intimate to you. When we have anything you want to start, you definitely need the support of the person who is most intimately attached to you, right? And now that person is not supporting. This is because of that. So, अब क्या करें?
चेहरा पूरा दिखा दीजिए और सेंटर इन कर लीजिए.
या हमसे होता नहीं हो रहा. कुछ
Yes,
better?
Yeah, now it's
yes.
बेटर
Perfect.
तो बताओ क्या करें फिर? What should we do now?
So I'll convince him.
कर लेती अगर तक क्वेश्चन यहाँ तक आता ही नहीं. कर सकती तो.
Okay.
For last 1 year you are trying. Remember, people who are most flexible are most successful. ये याद रखना. So if he's not interested, he's not giving you the permission to do it at your home, see some other place. How does it matter? I know it is convenient for you to do it from home. I know it. I've had a clinic in my own house, so I know how comfortable it is. But maybe the time has come for you to come out of your comfort zone. Be flexible. Change. अपने सपने मत खत्म करो. Flexible हो जाओ ना कुछ और. Okay, if not this way, then that way.
Ma'am, I told him can I go out? So he told ये तो professionals का काम है and you are not that professional. I know you inside out.
So you have to tell him, do you know yourself? When I don't know myself inside out, how can you know me inside out? Are you God? Even God does not know me inside out. The only person who knows me inside out is the person who can go inside me, and I'm the only one who can go inside me. Nobody can go.
Ma'am, heartbeat कम हो गई.
हो गया? Better word?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So you have to tell him, logically convince him without any disputes. It's possible. It's possible to win without disputes. Try it. Only through logic. And then, अब it's high time ये permissions मांगनी हमें बंद कर देनी चाहिए. This is the feminist me coming out. Generally, this is not me. I do not talk about being as a feminist that you don't have to obey your husband or you have to do something against it. I am not saying that. I am still saying without dispute, you can tell him what you want to do and you can do it. अगर मुझे सबसे पहले ये क्वेश्चन पूछना है तुमसे सुपर्णा, how confident you are that if you will have your own clinic, you will be very successful as a therapist? How confident you are? How much you trust your capabilities and how much you trust the process and how much you trust the science? जब ये तीनों चीजें epitome पे चली जाएंगी, you will be surprised to see how your husband will take a back seat. Check. कहीं तुम्हारा फेथ कम तो नहीं है अपने थेरेपिस्ट होने में. कोशिश करके देखो. ओके?
Thank you, ma'am.
कहीं से तुमको तो नहीं लग रहा है कि तुम कम प्रोफेशनल हो, बिकॉज हस्बैंड इज ओनली अ मिरर. Whatever have you have inside is going to show it to you. So check. And if it is there, work on it.
Yes, ma'am, it's there.
It's there? Good.
Yes, ma'am, it's
Work on
there.
it. And you know what to do.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
So, Maria का next question है, how to accept the other person when you are in a karmic relationship with that person and it is painful.
Maria, you know we all are here for with our own life plans, right? Now we have to But we forget it. When we come on earth, we forget it. Then we need people to remind us of our life plans. So there are people whose job is only, whom you have appointed even before coming on earth, to tell you or to remind you of your life plan. Now, people who have to remind you of your life plan, they have their own free will how they want to teach you or how they want to remind you. They can remind you very nicely, good, very in a very decent manner, right? And you would love it. They can remind you with a method that you are expecting, what you desire. Then you say, okay, these are my soul support, these are people are reminding me, thank you. But there can be people who would be reminding you not according to what you are expecting. They have their free will. Don't forget, even if they are bound to teach you or tell you, remind you of your life path, but how to remind that free will, you have not bound them. They are not stuck with that. So they may take, depending on how their seer is, depending how they have been brought up, depending on how their social environment had been in which they have developed themselves, depending on their economical situation, their education system, their religious system, all these things will give them a free will to decide how they will remind you of your life plan. If you understand this, then even if you have a karmic connection with them, or even if you don't have any karmic connection with them, you will just see what are they teaching you. If you focus what they are teaching you and how is it that it is benefiting you, acceptance will become very easy. It needs practice, Maria, for sure it needs practice. Easy to say, very easy for me to say, but do you think 100 out of 100 time I'm doing it? No, I am not. But yes, I'm every day learning it, practicing it. So maybe I'm moving towards more than 50%, but it does not mean I'm 100% there. Nobody is. But we will work now. Till we are alive, we will work. Somewhere we will reach. And Maria, does this answer your question? Or you have something else to say to it?
It was very, very inspiring. Thank
Okay. Because your voice is not very, very clear to me, but I'm glad that it is okay. Anybody else?
We have two more questions in the chat. Manisha is asking how to work upon one's inner resistance.
Why would there be an inner resistance? There can be only two reasons. One, there is a fear of uncertainty, fear of undesired results that can create inner resistance. That is on the mind point of view, from the mind's point of view. From the soul point of view, the inner resistance can be because that what you're going to do is not a part of your life plan. So the soul will resist. See, we have only two things inside us. We have a body, we have a mind, we have a soul. Body is something that everybody can see. So what is inside us? Is our soul or mind? And therefore, the voice of mind or soul is the inner voice. So I am giving you the reasons from both the voice. Either your mind is talking or your soul is talking. If the mind is talking, check. Do you have any fear? Because when the mind is talking, there is an emotion. And that can be an emotion that you're not very happy with. And we call it inner resistance. But if it is the voice of your soul, then most of the time, even if there is an inner resistance, you are okay with that inner resistance of yours. You are okay. It's okay. If it's not working, it's not working. Then it is the voice of your soul. But if it is your life plan and your mind is resisting, then you will not be happy about it. Then you have to definitely go and see how old is that child inside you who is resisting it. Definitely in a child work.
Very
Something has
beautiful
happened in
experience
the
you had.
past. Something has happened in the past where whatever you want to do, you were not successful, or somebody else in your environment was not successful. Then inner resistance will come. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, very beautifully you have expressed. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much. It gave me immense clarity that the inner resistance, I mean, to identify exactly where the inner resistance is coming from. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The next one is from Suman. She says, what if yours and your parents or husband's moral values are different and you're not able to accept their perspective? How to deal with it?
Huh. So many things can happen. Sometimes when you do not accept the moral values of your family, that helps you to propagate, move ahead in your life. And in those days, even if your moral values and their moral values are the same, you would still resist their moral values. Because one thing is for sure, if they are the moral values of your parents, it's a part of your environment and you have grown up with those moral values. But you have reached to a stage because now influences from outside environment where now you feel that these moral values are not for my benefit. So if they're not for your benefit, then you will deny them. You will not accept them. If you don't accept them, how does it benefit you? Check that first. How is it benefiting you? Is it helping you to grow up in life? Is it helping you to tell your parents, I'm independent? Is it giving you your freedom? Or it is giving you your desired results? Check that first. And once you do that, you understand your benefit, you will also understand why there is a revolt and not acceptance. Look, nowhere I'm saying that you have to have the same moral values as your parents have. Because every generation grows more than the first generation. The previous generation will walk, present generation will run. It's as simple. So there will be a difference always, always. You think when I was growing up, there was no difference between my and my mother's moral values? There were. And then I grew up, I became a mother. Now the same thing between me and my daughters. It will always be there. Nothing can change it. No civilization can change it. No country can change it. No religion will have different. It will always be there. Because you have to do more work than what your parents did. So it's okay to have difference of opinions. But does it mean don't accept their moral values? Please do. Accept it. Understand it. Where is it coming? Maybe it is coming out of fear for their daughter कि कहीं उसका कुछ नुकसान नहीं हो जाए. She might be harmed. Maybe the moral values are coming from that fear. Check from which premises is it coming. Accept them, but respect your own moral values. You either convince them or get convinced. It's not difficult. Believe me. If you will accept their moral values, time will come, they'll start accepting yours. But if there is a revolting child in you, फिर थोड़ा मुश्किल है. Revolt करके we can never make our elder generation accept us, and that is where the issues and the problems are coming in the between two generations. Check कहाँ से आ रहे हैं इतना different उनके moral values में. Maybe that is how they are brought up. Change it. Be flexible, but talk to them. It will work. As I said just now, without disputes, I think I was talking to Moini or somebody. Without disputes, it is possible to make other. No, I was talking to Suparna. Without disputes, it's possible to accept other people and make them accept you. But check karo, if you're more, maybe down inside you, you also have the same moral values. But because I have to revolt, I will say your moral values and my values are different. It's all about you, beta. Go inside yourself. Okay? Yes, Kavita.
That's all. If there is anyone else who wishes to say or ask anything, they can unmute themselves and voice it over.
It's already 9 o'clock.
Perfect. So I have quick announcements. On 28th and 29th of June, we are having clinical hypnotherapy level 1 classes at Delhi NCR. And if you guys wish to learn soul group constellation, then we have a faculty training program from 14th to 18th of July. So get in touch with me or Ms. Neja and we'll get back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being a part of my universe. And I will see you next month once again in Wow Season 2.
Definitely, definitely.
Thank
Looking
you, ma'am.
forward. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.